So we just got back from an awesome week of being in the backcountry. We had a kind of a crash landing here. Everyone got home late, and now next morning we are going to do one of the most critical steps in figuring out your system is the refine stage. So you go on a trip, you learn a bunch of stuff about your trucks, and when you land back on the ground over here, back at home, you go through those systems methodically and you start making your changes. So that's what we're going to do today.
Yeah, I think we should get a list together. I mean, we got basic maintenance stuff to do, like oil changes and things like that. Some suspension stuff to go over from new suspension we had put on. And then new living systems too that we need to go over as well.
Still moving into these trucks, and we learned a lot about it. Should we get to it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Get to it.
Overlander is presented by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. In association with Patriot Campers. And in part by Magpul, apparel and hard goods. Equipped. Warm. Go prepared. CBI Off-Road Fabrication. MaxTrax. Take the easy way out. Icon Vehicle Dynamics. And the power of Red Arc.
So we got all the trucks washed up. There's 4 trucks, 2 trailers. It took quite a while, but now we got them backed into the hangar and we're gonna start tearing them apart, getting them cleaned inside. This is my truck. I was in it primarily all week. The big problem that we're having right now is in the rear leaf pack. And so we allocated for 1,800 pounds in the rear. But leaf springs are a bit of an art, just due to metallurgy and all that stuff. You just don't quite know where they're gonna end up until you put them on the truck. So we're working through that right now and finding a solution. We may go as far as airbags on the rear. So another obvious was our exhaust with the dual exhaust. We got a little really close to the rear mud flap, and this truck runs so hot, the exhaust, that it melted the mud flap. But we don't like where the exhaust is, so we know that we're going to cut the exhaust back right after it comes over the axle and comes straight again. We're probably going to cut it back there. Just because with it being right here, we know that it's going to hang up on trails eventually, and we'll either rip it off or bend it or break something worse. So we're going to do some preventative maintenance there and get that cut back, and then probably get some new mud flaps. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that we're going to be going through. And so now we're just going to tear into it and get as far as we can by the end of the day so that we can start making repairs on these trucks, because these trucks leave again in just 3 short days to go on the all-women's trip this weekend. So another thing that we're working on moving into is the new Goose gear system. So last couple of years, we've ran with just a power box that was in here by Goose Gear and the floor plate. This year, they said we want to figure out a new system for you, and we worked together on what we thought would be best. And we wanted definitely to keep the power box. That was super important for us to be able to access from the outside. It was moved up, and then a compartment was made underneath, so there's a lot of storage here. And then also just below that, where the batteries used to be, there is now a Propex heater. In addition, because they built drawer systems that move over the wheel wells, it allowed everything, especially on this side, to move over the wheel well. And that bought us a lot of room. Before, there used to be a track that ran about right here, and this walkway in the center was pretty narrow.
So we are in the next phase. We've kind of laid out all of our battery charging systems here.
So up here in the past we've got this really nice clean slate, but for holding batteries and power and everything like that, you can see it just like totally slides around. We'll have a felt pad, and then we'll do Velcro on the felt pad. That way, whenever we want to stick a battery system down, it stays. All these ports up here used to be down on this main pad, which was like 6 or 7 inches of space. So it's just a great refinement thing that Goose Gear did for us.
With our refinements well on the way, it's now time to hand off the trucks to the ladies for the first all-women's trip. The ladies will be 100% in charge of this trip, from filming, navigation, camp setup, and truck maintenance.
So on your front, the very front of your front drive line,
With Megan Erickson arriving on her bike, the crew of 7 is now complete. Rachelle will lead the trip. Heather is in charge of cameras, while Jamie will be the lookout and in charge of crew safety. Nikki and Amy are in charge of food. And Amanda will head up the mechanics on the trip. Megan will have her hands full with the bike.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you prepared?
I'm prepared.
The ultimate responsibility
Yes,
is now yours.
the show is in my hands.
The show is in your hands.
Oh, you're too close.
You're gonna crush it.
I'm gonna crush it.
I'm very excited.
Thank you.
This trip has been talked about for years. So it's pretty cool to see all the girls get together, hop in some trucks and leave. So I think they're gonna have fun. If something goes wrong, they're on their own. And if something goes wrong here, I'm on my own.
Good luck, girls. We'll see you when you get back.
Let's get the show on the road.
Copy that.
The trip will take place around the St. Anthony Sand Dunes in Idaho. There's a ton of places to see here, and it's a great first trip location for us ladies to take on.
So how are you guys feeling?
I'm so excited. I know, me too. There are definitely parts that I'm nervous about, mainly driving the sand.
Being nervous about driving in the dunes is a good feeling.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty intense and we need to preserve the vehicles.
With a bit of a late start, we arrive in camp after dark, providing a little extra challenge to our first camp setup.
This is really hard to explain what I'm filming. Okay, on the ladder there's 2 hooks towards the very top, which you might have to have somebody else unhook them so you can extend the ladder. There you go. What happened, huh?
Well, we forgot the tent poles, even after the guys didn't have them in Utah. And so we found a stick, and Jamie is finagling something so that we don't, at least for this side, so we have a rain cover over the door.
There tonight, like
Yeah.
Oh, it's so different.
Oh no!
After a rainy night, we wake up at the campgrounds to a very gloomy day. It's not quite what we've been hoping for.
It's cool to wake up in the morning and see where you're actually staying.
I know, I didn't see any of this stuff.
I mean, I heard the bikes early, so I figured they're staying right there.
What does it say? Oh my gosh! Super cool! I just immediately went to that.
It's just, I need it on my body.
I don't care what it says, I just want it on. There's a big system, as you can see, moving right north of us. And we're right in the middle of this little system. Last updated at 11:36, so we're probably... We're right in the middle of it still.
We're having brunch, guys.
Brunch indeed.
Brunch.
It is 10 to 11.
Nice. So we sat around and chatted for quite a while and just got warm and figured out our plan for the day, had some coffee, and now we're getting the bacon and eggs going. So we're all good and hungry now. Awesome.
You want me to do it? I'm the tallest. Here we go.
With the weather less than ideal, we make the decision to change our plans.
Okay, we are gonna swap our days around and we're gonna go to the ice cave since the weather is crappy. It's supposed to just kind of keep doing this, be windy, thunderstorms. And then later this afternoon, evening, it's supposed to start to clear out and tomorrow's supposed to be gorgeous weather. So I think we are gonna do dunes tomorrow and we'll do ice caves today.
Idaho is a great place to overland. It has some of the most remote roads in the country. ranging from the prairies all the way to the mountains. Today we follow Megan's lead as she takes us to some ice caves that Nikki found.
Megan's down. Coming to the rescue. Oh,
I got ya.
Got it. And I got the GoPro.
Oh my gosh. Okay, 1, 2, 3, up. I got stuck in a rut, and I probably wasn't going fast enough to get out of it, and I toppled. And then you recovered like a boss.
So, what do you know about these
Elusive caves. Nothing. Found them on a map. Found like 3 photos and people saying that they were really cool, and that's about it.
That's awesome.
And the suggestions to wear gloves and pants. Cool. That is the extent of my knowledge.
The weather keeps us on our toes, and the ice caves provide a chilly shelter from the passing storms.
I feel like I'm in Ireland. Back in the home country. Aye. Don't slip, Amanda.
They're just diving right in. The weather is crap, and we are all just commenting on how much fun we're having. So, I mean, this is really cool. I'm having a blast.
Cool. Oh, what?
Cool. Do we reach the end? Oh, let's go stand in the sun.
With daylight starting to fade, we make our way back along the muddy road. It's a great opportunity for some of the new ladies to learn some basic four-wheel drive skills on our way back to camp.
You hear the pitch of the engine, it should mostly stay the same pitch. And I'm not even using the brake, I'm only using the throttle. So I'm keeping my foot, the right side of my foot is against the sidewall to give you stability. And then I'm pushing on the gas with the left ball of my foot, the left side of my foot. So it's kind of like this roll motion. So it's not like this. And when you can roll it, it gives you more stability, which gives you more traction and momentum and gives you a smoother ride as you go through this. So then if I come to a bump, I can just briefly let off the gas and then keep going to keep my momentum up. Because if I took my foot off the gas and moved it to my brake, I would lose all that momentum, right? And that's when you get stuck.
How did it feel to drive, Amy?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. I felt like a kid, like splashing through the
Totally.
yeah, puddles. And
Was it harder than you thought or easier than you
easier, for sure. Yeah. Pee break.
The storms have finally moved on. Tomorrow is looking like it should be a great day in the dunes.
What's for breakfast? Not that I can hear you at the moment.
eggs! Steak and eggs!
Jamie,
Yeah.
how'd you sleep?
Very little.
We had neighbors who partied till past 3, so, you know.
I put my earbuds in and let the Queen of England lull me to sleep.
and drown out the crazy.
I slept till about 7:45, so overall it was a pretty good night. It's like 9 hours.
There's a time and a place for campground camping, and our location was really good for these 2 days, but I think we're all ready to a little bit more remote. A little less people, a little less engines.
This is the first time airing down a vehicle for many of the ladies, and it provides a perfect teaching moment before heading into the dunes. Jamie has been put in charge of safety, and she's doing a great job keeping a level head for the group.
Obviously, last night was a little bit rough. We kind of are aware that some people around us are most likely hungover, and so they're out playing on the dunes as well. So if we could just keep our head on the swivel, they're actually they seem pretty quiet. There could definitely be more people out here, but we know that they're kind of out playing, so just keep your head on the swivel and make sure that you're looking out for our drivers and just kind of keeping an eye.
Excited to see what all this sand driving is about. Rachelle seems to be really excited about it, and I know she loves it, so I'm excited to see what it's all about, learn some things.
Amanda and I will be leading the training today. Having both competed in the Rebelle Rally, we are excited to help the other girls develop some new skills behind the wheel.
I'm a little nervous. I'm like, okay, are you feeling
I've got
okay?
this. I'm okay, but I'm just like, I know that people have driven over that, and I can see that, but I can't see what's on the other side.
Follow my line for now.
Yep.
And if I see something that I don't want you to follow, I'll tell you on the radio.
Okay.
Maybe give about 10 car lengths behind, just in case. So what I'm gonna do, so I'd like to go straight to that big grove of trees.
We've found the perfect secluded spot to run through some drills. The first being descending a dune.
Here I go now.
So I just got done doing that sand dune behind Heather there. Went up, but coming down I kind of got caught in a track and just was going a little too fast and took a spill, but I'm gonna try it again, so here we go.
Next up, vehicle recovery. Step 1, get stuck.
I don't know if it's gonna let you go any deeper.
Forward, just for training purposes. We could get out really easily if we just went backwards because we're on a hill.
Step 1 is to prep the sand for the max tracks. You can either use the max tracks itself or the aid of a shovel.
On the frame of your car. Actually, just dig out. Yep. So if you get to this,
Then, kick the max tracks into the front or rear of the tire, depending on which way you want to recover the vehicle.
as much as I can. Okay. Because you're still on a hill, and you need to get up to that shady spot. Okay, right there.
Determine your way out and apply smooth throttle pressure until the tire grabs the max tracks. Once a tire grabs the max tracks, stay on the throttle to keep up your momentum. Pretty simple, really. After everyone has had a turn, it's time to head back.
So I think now we're pretty set. We can break down all of our recovery gear, head out of the dunes, grab the trailer, and make our way to our next camp. All right? Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Great.
If using a MAXTRAX tire carrier, make sure that you mount them high enough on the tire so that the MAXTRAX do not hang below the tire. Here's why.
What are you doing, Amanda?
Airing the tires back up because we took them down to 18 out in the dunes. So it's very important when we're driving on highway kind of situations. You definitely want to put your tires to a proper pressure. Otherwise your tires get super hot and can blow a tire real easy.
We've got another campsite we need to hit in Island Park, which is about 45 minutes away. We're gonna head into town, fuel up trucks. We're gonna spray off the mud and the sand just so we have a clean start. And then we can catch any leaks or anything that might be wrong as well. But we need to get them all cleaned off. And then we'll hit the road and head to Island Park.
Washing your vehicle is also protective to the new environment you will be entering. If a truck is really muddy, it can carry noxious weeds. So a quick spray can really help in reducing weeds from spreading. Our next campground near Island Park, Idaho, is off the beaten path, offering us some much-needed peace and quiet from the dunes. Camp setup time is cut in half after doing it now a couple times, so we settle in for an evening of good food and conversation. I asked the ladies what was it that surprised them about themselves on this quick trip.
And so the thing that surprised me the most is that when Heather would say, okay, so I'd probably go driver high here, I was already thinking that. So it surprised me that that was a little more instinctual than I ever would have thought.
I think in 13 years of riding my motorcycle that I've relied heavily on Ryan to like do certain things, and like knowing more that I'm capable of doing it without him.
Like, you killed it today. It was amazing to see you just...
It was really fun.
Just go for it. And then you were like, oh yeah, I fell. I'm gonna try it again.
I can't begin to explain how full my heart is after this weekend.
She's drowning!
This being a dream of mine for the past couple years, it was everything I hoped it would be. I love being able to give others the chance to try something new, to discover tools that they never thought they had. I have a feeling this won't be the last ladies' trip.
We made it. All in one piece.
Yep.
Yes. Good job, ladies. Good job.
With the success of the first all-women's trip behind us, it's now time to set our sights on another trip as we head out to the Northwest Overland Rally in Plain, Washington. Till then, we hope you get a little mud on the tires, and we'll see you here next time on Overlander.